Hey everyone, it's Caboose XBL bringing you another Captain America Civil War video, and today what we're going to be talking about is the Spider-Man costume in Captain America Civil War. Now for those of you who didn't know, Spider-Man was revealed yesterday in the Captain America Civil War trailer, the latest trailer for the film, and it is confirmed that he is pretty much on Iron Man's side, at least from the way that he was introduced in the trailer. Now if you didn't know that, then I just spoiled the fact that Spider-Man has been revealed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But if you didn't know that, I really want to know what kind of rock you're living under and how you can have such a good internet connection to where you can watch this video whilst living under that rock. So let me know in the comments where that rock is, and maybe I'll drop by and, say hello or something. Yeah, okay, moving on. Let's get into my breakdown of the costume. Overall, let's just talk about what I like about it. Now, this is the first thing that I wanted to mention, and it's something that plenty of people have mentioned before, so I'm not going to take credit like I'm the one who thought this up, like, I was the one who thought of this first, but I'm definitely not. Plenty of people have said this online, and that is the fact that the Spider-Man costume we got in Captain America Civil War is very much the costume from the classic Steve Ditko era. It is that costume from the comics brought to life. There are some small little tweaks here and there, but they're very, very subtle, something that you really couldn't tell until you've looked at both costumes side by side and really analyzed them. Besides that, for the most part, this is the Steve Ditko Spider-Man costume brought to life, and I'm very glad they went with that design, because that is the most notable Spider-Man costume design. When I think of Spider-Man costumes, that is the first picture that pops in my head. The black webbing, just that cloth kind of clothing style with the suit and the small emblem on the chest and everything like that. So I'm glad that they went with this design. The suit looks fantastic. One of the things that I like about it the most when comparing it to the other Spider-Man costumes we've got is the practicality of it. Now, taking away the factor in the eyes, which we'll get to later on in the video, everything else here looks like it's something that a teenager could sew together or make himself. So I like that they've done that. It looks like a teenager would make this suit. Whereas you look at the other suits and it's like, how the hell did he get the silver webbing to pop off the costume, and he got this cool emblem going all the way down his chest? What is that? It's just craziness. It's a cool freaking costume. Yeah, from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that was the best Spider-Man suit until now. And from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, those were all great costumes. Well, they didn't really change except for the black suit. So that was a great costume. It's just, this is the one I like the most because of the practicality of it and the fact that it looks like a kid can make this. So that's what I like the most about this suit. Now, a couple things that I wanted to point out. Number one of the new stylistic changes that was made in this Spider-Man suit that isn't in the comics, it's a very, very minor one, but it's those little stripes that you see on the shoulder areas and the leg right there. I think you can see one close to his elbow as well. What this is to me, I think, is the original photo that the Russo brothers had tweeted out long ago, and everyone was speculating, is that the Spider-Man suit? You're seeing a side-by-side image of it. Now, there was a Russo brothers Twitter account that everyone was wondering if it was real or fake, and they kept posting these super close-up pictures that nobody could really make out. And one of them was of this, red pattern with a black stripe in it and everything, and nobody knew what the hell that was, but everyone kept speculating, did we get our first look at the Spider-Man costume up close? And from what you can see here in this side-by-side image that I made, I think we did, and that is so brilliant. We saw the Spider-Man costume, at least a very small piece of it, long ago, so that is pretty damn cool. Another thing worth pointing out, in a very much blink and you'll miss it moment in the trailer, just before Spider-Man lands on the car with the shield in hand, you can see the back of the Spider-Man costume, and he has the classic red Spider-Man emblem on his back. I am so happy about this. This is one of the coolest things about the costumes that I love the most in the cartoons and in the comic books was the red symbol on the back, and they're going with the classic design this time. So I'm very, very happy about that. Not to bash on the older suits. Like I said, I do like the older suits, but this is it. This is the definitive Spider-Man costume brought to life for me. So I'm really glad they went with that classic red symbol, and it was very much a blink and you'll miss it moment in the trailer. Last couple things that I wanted to point out were the web shooters. So Spider-Man is going to get web shooters again in Captain America Civil War, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And one thing to point out mainly, in this high-res photo of Spider-Man, you can see on his utility belt that he has additional web shooter cartridges. I think that that's a really nice touch, because when I always watch the cartoons, one thing I always wondered was that when Spider-Man would run out of his web shooters, he would kind of just reach into his costume and poof, extra web shooters are there. You never see them coming out of the costume or anything. They were just kind of there magically. Here it makes sense. He's got this little utility belt. He's got a bunch of extra web shooters there ready to go. Who knows, maybe there'll be a moment in the trailer or in the film, that is, when he runs out of webs and he just does like a quick move to get rid of the web shooter and put on an extra one, ripping it off his utility belt. So that is really awesome. I like the little nice touch there. And of course, the final thing to talk about are the eyes. A lot of people have compared this to Deadpool, thinking that these eyes are just purely to give Spider-Man expressions. While that may be true to an extent, because the eyes do move, there is some sort of tech involved. If you listen to the trailer, when the eyes squint, it almost sounds like a camera is zooming in. And you can see in the high-res image that there are layers to the black area of the eyes, making me assume that this is some sort of like tech or some sort of camera lens that was implanted into the eyes so that, he can view someone like from afar or something like that. I don't really know. What I'm going to speculate, though, is one of two things. Number one, Tony Stark is the one to give Spider-Man this tech. I think Tony goes up to him, he's like, here, I got this tech. Maybe he knows about Spider-Man, maybe he's heard about him, and he approaches him, he's like, I got this tech, I'll help you out if you join my team. Number two, Peter Parker could be trying to steal this tech. That, I think, would be pretty damn cool. He's trying to sneak into Stark Tower or Avengers Tower or something, and he tries to steal this tech from Tony Stark to work on it and, use it with his suit. Tony catches him, obviously, and he's like, man, this kid's got skills. Maybe I should recruit him. Maybe I should use him on my team. He seems like he's able to, do some work. Who knows? Maybe we get that rumored fight scene between Iron Man and Spider-Man in that scene. Spider-Man sneaks in, he's trying to steal some stuff. Iron Man's like, yo, stop. And they fight it out for a little bit until they obviously calm down, and Iron Man's like, all right, I'm going to recruit you. That would be really cool for me. I think that would be an awesome little moment to see in Captain America Civil War, the recruitment of Spider-Man through some sort of little heist, some sort of little burglary from Spider-Man trying to rob Tony Stark. But what do you guys think of the Captain America Civil War Spider-Man suit? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment section below. Did I help you notice some things you may have missed in the original trailer? Do you agree with some of my speculation? Do you not? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm Caboose XBL. Please drop a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment if you have an opinion. And subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.